So we are talking about guiding values of the Indian Constitution. If you want to know about the Constitution, the philosophy of the Constitution, right? So we can do either by reading views of the major leaders on Constitution, or it is equally important basically to read what the Constitution says about its own philosophy. Like I was telling you about that if you want to buy a phone, so sometimes, first of all, we check the specification information regarding the phone on the websites or other sources on the internet, right? So that means we try to know, even sometimes we take the review, so to review or to others. Sorry, can you hear me? Can you hear me, boys? Okay. So like, if you want to buy a device, we collect information on the internet generally. We even check the reviews. And yes, that is equally important. We do not forget to read about the product on its official website or on the landing page, on the selling page. So similar like here about the Constitution. If you want to know about the Constitution, yes, we can know by reading the views of major leaders on Constitution. And it is equally important that we know about the Constitution from itself, right? So we need to know that what the Constitution says about its own philosophy. This is what the preamble to the Constitution does. That's why preamble important to us. So we shall discuss about the preamble, but before it, let's check about the views of major leaders. First of all, a question to you. We have seen that the major people, those who played important role in the Constituent Assembly. But if you have noticed that there is no name of Mahatma Gandhi in all this, as well as sketches are there in your textbook, right? Sketches of the makers of the Constitution. Uh, Key people are there basically. But Mahatma Gandhi, he was not a member of the Constituent Assembly. We know that Constituent Assembly presided by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and the draft committee, the most important committee chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. But nowhere about Mahatma Gandhi because he was not a member of the Constituent Assembly. Yet, there were many members who followed his vision. Like Kanhaiya Madikal, I told you about him. Like him, there were many members who followed Mahatma Gandhi. So they brought Gandhian philosophy in the Constituent Assembly. Years ago, writing in his magazine, Young India, in 1931. Sorry for that. Sorry, it was disconnected due to network error. So I was talking about Young India, a magazine that published by Mahatma Gandhi. So in 1931, he had splat out what he wanted the constitution to do. So his article, I'm going to read and explain. So watch it. I'm going to share a screen first. Now on your screen. I shall strive for a constitution which will release India from all thraldom and patronage. I shall work for an India in which the poorest shall feel that it is their own country, in whose making they have an effective voice. An India in which there shall be no high class and no low class people. An India in which all communities shall live in perfect harmony. So he wanted that India free. He wanted India where poorest people matter. He wanted the country, he wanted India where voice of people effective for the country. He wanted India where equality in society, like no high class, no low class, no matter rich or poor, but all equal, all shall equal. An India in which there shall be no high class and no lower class people. In India, which all communities shall live in perfect harmony. No grievances, no riots, but peace and harmony among all the communities of the country. There can be no room in such an India for curse of untouchability or curse of intoxicating drinks and drugs. As we know that Mahatma Gandhi, he was against the untouchability. He wanted that equality in our society. We know that untouchable, the rich people. We call him Harijan, people of God. And Gandhiji was against intoxicating drinks and drugs, liquor and other intoxicating drugs. More women will enjoy the same right as men. As I said that he wanted equality, equality among different social classes as well as gender as well as castes. I shall be satisfied with nothing else but this all. So this is about Gandhian views. Okay. Apart from this, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he also had his own view. So this dream of an India that has eliminated inequality was shared by Dr. Ambedkar, who played a key role in making of the constitution. But he had different understanding of how inequalities could be removed. Recall that Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar as father of the Indian Constitution because he played key role. As I said before, he was not only the person who made our constitution, but he played key role in it. He had his own view about how to remove inequalities, how to remove this untouchability that Gandhiji said it a curse. So he often bitterly criticized Mahatma Gandhi and his vision. Yes, Gandhiji wanted equality, but Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he wanted to remove the entire system of untouchability of the caste system. So somehow clashes between them, mainly about their view on the untouchability, this caste system. So in his concluding speech to the Constituent Assembly, he stated anxiety very clearly. So still he had doubts. Let's check Dr. Ambedkar's speech here. On 26th January 1950, we are going to enter a life of contradictions. In the beginning, he said life of contradiction. In politics, we will have equality and social and economic life. We will have inequality. So I believe him, and that is reality. Yeah, by principle, our constitution adopted the principles of equality. However, in reality, we know still, even after 70 years, we observe inequalities in India. In politics, we will be recognizing the principle of one man, one vote, and one value. In our social and economic life, we shall, by reason of our social and economic structure, continue to Danny the principle of one man, one value. Yeah, by the principle in our political system, there is one person, one vote, one value. However, in reality, different people, different people, they have different value. There is no one man, one value. Because many times I have observed, I have seen sometimes social media on television or somewhere else. The people treated badly, even sometimes worse than animals. So I agree with him. One man, one value. Here, denied. How long shall we continue to live this life of contradictions? How long shall we continue to deny equality in our social and economic life? If we continue to deny it for long, we will do so only by putting our political democracy in peril. So this is a speech delivered by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on 26th of January, and his anxieties we can see here clearly. We can understand, we can feel his anxiety. And after 70 years, still, I agree that whatever he said. So this is about the philosophy of the Indian Constitution, what major people tells about it, as well as Christ and Destiny, a speech delivered by Jawaharlal Nehru. You can read in your textbook. I will share a real speech soon. Okay, so this is about the people's view, leaders' view on the Constitution of India. In the next session, we shall discuss that what the Constitution tells about itself, preamble. Okay, the preamble to the Constitution. Thank you so much.